We are back on the road north to Alaska, mother and teen son, crossing remote highways deep into the wilderness. Welcome back to part 2 of our journey home. We started in Reno, 2 vehicles, 1 long drive ahead. A Ford Transit van becoming my future camper home, and a 1990 Ford Bronco, my son's dream car. Through California's Redwoods, along the Oregon coast, and into Canada, the journey really began. Now we're deep into the north, the Stewart-Cassiar Highway and the rough stretches of the Alaska-Canada Highway through Destruction Bay. From Prince George, where Carson ordered a proper breakfast and I indulged in a donut, which I never do, we took the highways to Stewart. The roads began to stretch out, and the mountains turned snow-capped. Carson's Bronco, fixed in my rearview mirror, was a beautiful sight as we added miles to our odometers. The car had finally proved itself. It will likely handle the rest of the trip through much more remote stretches ahead. To put trust into the journey is essential. Yes, the old Bronco could break down again, and it will get tougher to find solutions as we head north with fewer services. But as Alaskans, we are quite used to that feeling. It's not anxiety-inducing to me. What I've found is that people will always show up, and they want to help. Helping feels good. Maybe this is what the frontier spirit is about. We know we need each other, so we stop and ask any driver parked on the side of the road, "Everything okay? Need help?" No, I am not worried about breakdowns. There is always a solution. It was beautiful to see the first snow-patched mountains coming back into view. Carson was getting used to driving longer and longer days now. It's a skill to develop as a young teen driver, building that kind of stamina. I made sure to stop every 1.5 to 2 hours for snacks, water, and rest. But there were also longer stretches he mastered just the same. For the night, we found another nice campground with a short trail along the lake shore to stretch our legs and to observe birds and wildflowers. We took a little detour to Stewart. On our way, we were greeted by a mama grizzly and her cub. It was good to be back in the wildlife zone. Stewart is a sleepy little community with an old-town vibe. The summer season had only just begun, so we missed being able to check out many of the establishments. From Stewart, BC, we crossed into Alaska, to the ghost town of Hyder. Though it isn't so ghostly, some people do live here. We wanted to see Salmon Glacier, but it quickly became clear the road to the overlook was still covered in snow. So we crossed back into Canada, back to Stewart. The Canadian border agent, though friendly, had a lot of questions. It felt funny, he had just seen us drive into Hyder, Alaska, and now we were already coming back. He even took a look inside my van, packed with camping gear and boxes of van building materials. We found a place to camp, free hot showers included, and then went for a joyride through the little community in Carson's Bronco. Called it an early night. Rain on the van roof lulled us into sleep. Fog and rain accompanied us on our way out of Stewart. As we headed north on the Cassiar Highway, Winter still had a grip on the land. It was the end of May, yet ice still floated in many of the lakes. The mountains remained capped with snow. The Cassiar Highway is narrower than the Alaska Highway, without wide shoulders. It winds more, and it feels more remote. I really like it. For lunch, we stopped at a lake. I set out my flexible solar panels to recharge the power bank. It was nice to prepare food without, or with hardly any, mosquitoes around. As summer progresses, they become such a nuisance in the north.
Strammer Max.
It's pretty good.
Good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With full bellies, we were back on the road. Driving long distances gives you time to calm your mind and to think. I thought about a lot of things. My mind works like that. I see changing landscapes and reflect on changes in my own life. How I had to adapt, survive, learn, and continue with resilience. And then I saw a raven, and I thought of my mother. After her passing, a raven kept visiting me for weeks, landing on the same treetop almost every day, around the same time. Until one day, she brought a partner. As if to say, I am not alone. I'm okay. I think that's what grief does. We see our loved ones in everything. That way, we don't ever have to let them go. And why should we? Miles passed beneath us. We watched for wildlife around every corner. Porcupines near the road, birds of prey above us, and more bears. We stopped often, taking time to live in each moment. There are moments where I intentionally slow everything down. I pause to give myself time to think, to avoid decisions I might regret. I slow down to move forward. For too long, I wasn't able to move forward because I kept dwelling on the past. I wanted to explain myself, to feel understood. I thought if I could just explain myself better, I could solve everything. Marriage problems, relationship problems, anything. I resisted change for too long. I felt invested, and that made me feel stuck. It made me suffer. I also carried anger for too long, but forgiveness gave me freedom. Now I try to let go of control, which honestly I never had in the first place. Life unfolds anyway. The only thing I can regulate is how I respond. It's something I'm still learning. To pause before reacting. To tell my brain, stop hijacking me. Stop imagining worst-case scenarios. Stop spinning in circles. Driving these roads in the solitude of my van gave me the recharge I needed. This is why I love road trips. This is why I crave forward movement. This is why I am building this van into a camper, a home on wheels. We met up with the Alaska-Canada Highway and drove to Whitehorse, where we decided to take a longer break. We stopped at the visitor center, checked out the SS Klondike, and explored a few sites before lunch. We dropped our Canadian coins into the Klondike meter, supporting local nonprofits. After Whitehorse, under sunny skies, we spotted elk behind the trees, and even wild horses. In the evening, we found a quiet campsite in the forest. The next morning was chilly. Even Carson took a sip of hot coffee to warm up. We filled up gas in Haines Junction and continued toward Cluane Lake. We took a good long break at Cluane Lake. It has become a tradition to stop here and rest a while. It's such an amazing spot. We had stopped here in 2023 when we drove my daughter Sage's little school bus from Las Vegas to Alaska. And I also stopped here on last summer's road trip with my DR650. You can check out those videos on my other channel, Slow Down for Adventure, and on my daughter's channel, Wild Juniper. Onward toward Destruction Bay, the road gets rough. Potholes, frost heaves, patches of gravel. You can't rush it. This is where the road teaches you patience. Slow way, way down and ride the waves, or you'll damage your vehicle. Carson was extra careful with his old 1990 Bronco. That's what you do when you care. You are gentle. My heart felt lighter as we shortened the distance to our home in Alaska. That feeling of coming home, it's strong. It feels good. And yet, despite feeling lighter, I also feel a tinge of sadness, knowing that leaving Alaska, eventually, will be one of the hardest things to do. Maybe it ties into how much effort I've put into the life I've created there. Letting go of things you've invested so much in, it feels wrong. My marriage, I invested in it, but had to let it go. The home I built with my parents, I will have to let that go. The community I feel connected to, I'm letting it go. Yes, I could return to Alaska at some point. But my realistic side, my analytical brain that crunches the numbers and keeps me grounded, is telling me it's time for a change. So I chose change. And now I just need to follow through and actually do it. Buying the van is just the first step. After a stop at Fast Eddie's restaurant in Tok, we continued down the Tok Cutoff with incredible views of the mountains of Wrangell St. Elias National Park and Preserve stretching out to our left. The pull of home feels especially strong on these final stretches of road. It seems to be a familiar feeling. We could have pushed all the way to Talkeetna in one long day of driving, but I had an errand to take care of the next day, a Monday. So we took our time. We drove deliberately slow, stopped often, and spent one more night on the road, taking it all in, enjoying the view of the mountains. On Monday, our final day of this long road trip from Reno to Alaska, we were greeted with blue skies and sunshine as we made our way from Matanuska Glacier toward Palmer and Wasilla, slowly returning to more populated areas. I felt so proud of my son, Carson. driving such a long distance in an old car, following my lead while also making good decisions on his own. The bond we've built through this journey, the trust he has in me and I in him, the joy and even the difficult moments at the beginning, all of it is now cemented into our lives forever. On these final miles home, I found myself reflecting on everything I carried with me on this journey from Nevada to Alaska. The distance, the time, both have a way of healing. I feel immense love for my kids. And I'm choosing change to feel alive again. After the obligatory stop at Fred Meyer for groceries, and of course chicken strips from Cars, we also picked up a new battery for my DR650 adventure bike at Stronghold Customs in Wasilla. We had to wait a bit. This shop gets busy at the start of every riding season. But it gave us time to slow down and look at all the different bikes parked out front. This is The Long Road Forward, a story that began years ago. It holds growth, healing, and letting go. And it is far from over. There are dreams ahead, and fears, and a secret I'm not ready to share yet. These videos are here to remind me, and maybe you too, to stay hopeful and to live in the moments that matter.